Secrets of Coins, revealing the rare coins in history, disclosed.
Ronald Reagan was president. America was in the middle of the Cold War. The economy was recovering, and in people's pockets were Lincoln cents that looked ordinary. But hidden among the billions struck that year are a few rare varieties that can sell for thousands of dollars. The 1983 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series. It has the familiar design by Victor David Brenner on the front and Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial on the back. It weighs 2.5 grams, not the heavier 3.1 grams of earlier years. That's because in 1982, the United States Mint changed the composition of the cent. Before that, pennies were mostly copper. After the change, they were made of 97.5% zinc, coated with just a thin layer of copper. That's which makes 1983 one of the first full years of zinc cents. The Mint struck an enormous number of them. Philadelphia produced over 7 billion. Denver produced over 6 billion. And the San Francisco Mint produced proof cents for collectors. In total, more than 13 billion 1983 cents were made, making them very common in circulation. So if they're so common, what makes some of them valuable? The answer lies in varieties and errors. The most famous is the 1983 double die reverse from Philadelphia. On this coin you can see clear doubling on the words 1 cent and United States of America. The doubling is strong enough that you can spot it without magnification if you know what to look for. Circulated examples can bring several $100s, while high-grade mint state examples have sold for more than $10,000 at auction. Another variety to look for is the 1983 copper transitional error. Remember, the Mint had switched to zinc planchets in 1982. But in 1983, a few leftover copper planchets were accidentally used. These weigh 3.1 grams instead of 2.5. If you find a 1983 cent and it's heavy like the older coins, you may be holding a major rarity. Only a handful are known, and they have sold for over $15,000. There are also common errors collectors look for. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and clash dies all exist on 1983 cents. While most of these bring modest premiums of a few dollars to a few hundred, dramatic examples can be worth more. In terms of condition rarity, even regular 1983 cents can be valuable in very high grades. Because zinc cents corrode easily, finding flawless examples is tough. An ordinary 1983 cent in circulation is worth 1 cent. Maybe 2 or 3 if uncirculated. But in grades like MS67 or higher, with full red color, prices can reach several $100s. Proof examples from San Francisco, graded PR70, can also bring strong prices with cameo or deep cameo designations. To put some numbers to it, one 1983 double die reverse cent graded MS65 red sold for over $7,000. For more stories like this, another sold for more than $10,000, a confirmed 1983. Copper transitional error has brought $15,000. Even high-end regular 1983 cents without errors have sold in the $100 to $300 range when certified in near-perfect grades. So how do you find one? The good news is that billions of these coins were made, and they're still in circulation today. You can check pocket change, bankrolls, and old jars of pennies. Estate sales and flea markets are also good hunting grounds. If you're searching, keep a scale nearby. Weigh your coins. A 1983 cent that comes in at 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 is worth investigating. And always check the reverse for doubling on the letters. If you think you found a rare variety, the next step is authentication. For valuable pieces, it's best to send them to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified holder not only protects the coin, but proves its authenticity, which is critical for high-value sales. Selling depends on what you have. Regular 1983 cents in average condition are not worth more than face value, and you can spend them. But uncirculated rolls can bring small premiums. Doubled dies, transitional errors, and top-grade examples should go to auction houses like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections. Even on eBay, certified examples attract strong bidding. So what's the big picture? The 1983 cent is one of those coins that looks ordinary but hides real treasures. In worn condition, it's just a penny. In top condition, it can be a $100 coin. With a double die reverse, it can be a $10,000 coin. And with the copper transitional error, it can be worth more than $15,000. This is why collectors love the 1983 penny. It's a reminder that even modern coins, the ones still passing through our hands today, can be rare and valuable. You don't need to dig back to the 1800s or search for ancient coins. Sometimes the jackpot is hiding in plain sight, in the change you get at the grocery store. So the next time you see a 1983 penny, don't dismiss it. Check the reverse for doubling. Put it on a scale. Look for that 3.1 gram weight. Because in the world of coin collecting, even a common modern cent can turn into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoy learning about rare coins, make sure to subscribe. It might not sound like a historic year for coins, but for the Lincoln cent, it marked a major first. For more than a century, Philadelphia struck pennies without any mint mark at all. Then in 2017, something unexpected happened. For the first and only time, the U.S. Mint placed a P mint mark on the front of the Lincoln cent. This was done to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint. It was a small change, but it made history. Every single cent made in Philadelphia that year carried a tiny P under the date. No other year before or since has had that feature. The 2017 P cent is part of the Lincoln Shield series. On the obverse is Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design first used in 1909. The reverse is Lyndall Bass's Union Shield, introduced in 2010. The coin is made of zinc with a thin copper coating, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters across. The mintage numbers were massive. Philadelphia produced over 4.3 billion of these coins. That makes them common in circulation, but still special because of their one-year-only mint mark. Collectors recognized right away that this was something unusual, and many put away rolls and bags of them. So what about values? In circulation, a 2017 P cent is usually worth 1 cent. But condition makes the difference. Because billions were made, only the best survivors bring premiums. In grades like MS-67 with full red color, prices can reach $50 to $100. In MS-68, some have sold for more than $200. And the very top examples graded MS-69 have sold for over $1,000. Proof-like designations or coins with exceptional eye appeal can also attract serious bidding. Errors are another story. With such a huge mintage, mistakes are inevitable. Collectors have found doubled dies on 2017 P cents. Though most are minor, there are also repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and die cracks. Dramatic off-centers or major die breaks can sell for $50 to several $100 depending on eye appeal. A 29 P cent with a strong doubled die could someday join the ranks of modern favorites. What makes this coin most interesting isn't just the errors or even the high grades. It's the history. For more than 2 centuries, Philadelphia was the mother mint. It never needed a mint mark because it was the default location. But in 2017, to celebrate the mint's 225th anniversary, the director authorized that small P on the cent. It was meant as a tribute to Philadelphia, the city where the first coins of the United States were made in 1793. By 2018, the mint mark was gone, and cents struck in Philadelphia once again carried no mark at all. That makes the 2017 P cent a one-year type, instantly collectible. Collectors love one-year types. They stand out in albums, they're easy to explain, and they tell a clear story. Like this, beginners can afford them, and advanced collectors chase the very highest grades. It's a modern coin, but it has a built-in historical significance. So where can you find them? The good news is that 2017 P cents are still in circulation everywhere. You can find them in pocket change, in bank rolls, and in coin jars. If you want to build a collection, you can buy full rolls or bags at small premiums from dealers. For high-grade examples, certified coins from PCGS or NGC are the best bet. If you think you have a valuable one, how should you sell it? Circulated coins are spenders. Uncirculated rolls can be sold on eBay or to coin shops. Certified gems in MS-67 and above should go through auction houses like Great Collections or Heritage. Errors and high grade coins always attract attention when they're properly authenticated. So what's the bottom line? The 2017 P cent may look ordinary, but it represents a unique moment in U.S. coinage. It's the only year with a P mint mark making it stand out from every Lincoln cent before or after. In average condition, it's just a penny. In gem condition, it can be worth hundreds. With a rare error, it can be worth even more. It's proof that even the coins we see every day can have hidden stories. A tiny mint mark added for 1 year turned the most common coin in America into a modern collectible. And decades from now, collectors will still be talking about the first and only Lincoln cent with a P. So the next time you get change and spot a 2017 penny, look closely. If it has a P under the date, you're holding a 1 year type. A coin that marks the 225th birthday of the U.S. Mint. It might be worth only a cent today, or it might be a pristine gem that brings real money tomorrow. Either way, it's history in your hand. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoy learning about coins, make sure to subscribe for more stories. A year that changed the modern history of the Lincoln cent. For more than a century, billions of pennies poured out of the U.S. Mint every year. Most were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, some proofs in San Francisco. And for every one of those years, Philadelphia cents carried no mint mark at all. But then, in 2019, something happened that collectors had never seen before. For the very first time, the United States Mint in West Point, New York, struck Lincoln cents with a tiny W under the date. It might not look like much, just a single letter. But in coin collecting, details matter. That W instantly made the 2019 cents stand out as a 1 year type, the kind of issue collectors chase for decades. The Mint decided to create these coins to celebrate its 2019 collector program in the 227th year of U.S. coinage, and they didn't release them into circulation. You couldn't find them in your change or at the bank. Instead, they were offered as special bonuses, tucked into 3 different annual coin sets. The proof set came with a 2019 W proof cent. The silver proof set came with a 2019 D reverse proof cent. And the uncirculated mint set came with a 2019 W uncirculated cent. That means 3 different 2019 W pennies exist, each with its own finish, each with its own level of rarity. Let's talk numbers. The Mint sold about 1.5 million proof sets in 2019. That means roughly 1.5 million proof 2019 U cents were made. The silver proof set had lower sales, just over 400,000. So that's the number of reversed proof cents. And the uncirculated mint set sold only about 346,000. That makes the uncirculated 2019 W cent the scarcest of the 3, and therefore the key to the set. Now let's talk about values. In raw condition, even the most common version, the proof cent, usually sells for a few dollars above face value. But certified in top grades, the prices rise quickly. Proof cent graded PR70 deep. Cameo often sells for $50 to $100. The reverse proof in PR70 can bring $100 to $200, and the uncirculated version, being the scarcest, is the most desirable. In grades like MS67 and MS68, it can bring anywhere from $50 to $200, and in MS69 prices have gone even higher. Some of the very best coins in top pop grades have sold for several $100s apiece. Compared to older rarities like the 1943 copper cent or the 1909 SVDB, these numbers may seem modest, but remember, those older coins had a century to build their legend. The 2019 W cent is still very new. Its long-term value will come from its unique place in the series. Collectors also watch for errors and varieties. Because the coins were struck in relatively small numbers, they were handled carefully, but some die cracks, minor doubling, and struck-through errors have been reported. While most are not dramatic, any confirmed major error on a 2019 W cent would bring strong premiums. The real excitement, though, comes from the history. The West Point Mint has been producing coins since the 1930s, but for most of its life it worked quietly, striking silver and gold bullion with no mint mark at all. In 1988 it was officially designated a U.S. mint. Since then, West Point has struck modern gold and silver coins, commemoratives and bullion eagles, always with its W mark, but never before 2019 did it place that letter on a Lincoln cent. That's why these coins matter. They are the first and only cents ever to bear the W, a 1 year mint mark, a 1 year type, a true modern key. Collectors love coins like this because they're easy to explain. They're affordable at entry levels, and they tell a clear story. A set of 3 2019 W cents, proof, reverse proof, and uncirculated, instantly becomes a highlight in a modern collection. And advanced collectors chase the very highest graded examples, willing to pay hundreds for coins that look perfect under magnification. So how do you find one today? Because they were never released into circulation, you won't find them in pocket change. The only way is through the secondary market. You can still buy the 2019 coin sets from dealers, often with the bonus cent included. Proof and silver proof sets are fairly easy to find. The uncirculated set, because of its lower sales, is harder and commands higher prices. You can also buy the cents individually, raw or certified on eBay at coin shows, and from online dealers. If you think you have one, how should you sell it? Raw examples can sell well online, especially if still sealed in their government packaging. Certified examples in PR70 or MS68 and higher do best at major auction houses like Heritage, Stax Bowers are great collections, because top pop coins always attract competition. The jump in value from one grade to the next can be dramatic. A PR69 might sell for $50, while a PR70 could bring $200. The difference is just 1 point, but in coin collecting, perfection always commands a premium. The big picture is this. The 2019 W Lincoln cent is not just another modern penny. It is the first and only cent from West Point. It was never meant for circulation. It was designed as a gift to collectors, but it has quickly become a milestone issue. In lower grades, it's worth only a few dollars. In top grades, it can be worth hundreds. And in the long run, its one-year status ensures that it will always hold a special place in the Lincoln series. Think about it this way. The Lincoln cent has been struck since 1909. That's more than a century of history. It has been made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but only once in 2019 did the West Point Mint join that story. That makes these coins a bridge between past and present, and a reminder that even the most familiar coin in America can still surprise us. So the next time you come across a Lincoln cent with a W mint mark, know what you're holding. It's not pocket change. It's a piece of modern numismatic history, a coin that represents a first, a one-year rarity, and a story that collectors will remember for generations. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoy learning about coins, make sure to subscribe for more stories like this. The world was at war. In America, resources like food, rubber, and metal were being rationed. Even the nation's smallest coin, the Lincoln cent, was changed to help the war effort. For just 1 year, pennies were made out of zinc-coated steel instead of copper. Most of these coins came from the U.S. mints in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But far away in Europe, another mint was quietly producing its own version of the 1943 cent. That mint was in Bern, Switzerland, and the coins struck there are known today as the 1943 B Lincoln cents. The B stands for Bern, the capital of Switzerland. During World War II, the U.S. Mint contracted with the Bern Mint to produce coins for American troops stationed overseas. These were genuine Lincoln cents, made to official specifications, but struck outside the United States. The idea was simple: provide American soldiers in Europe with familiar coinage they could use on bases and in military exchanges. These coins look almost identical to the 1943 steel cents made in the United States. They are 19 millimeters across, weigh 2.7 grams, and are made of zinc-coated steel. On the front, you see Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the date 1943. On the back, the familiar wheat ears flank the words 1 cent. The only difference is a tiny B mint mark below the date. At first glance, the 1943 B cent doesn't look special, but for collectors, that small B makes all the difference. This is the only year, the only time in history, that Lincoln cents were struck outside the United States for official use. That gives the 1943 B a unique place in the series. In terms of mintage, estimates vary. Records suggest that several million were struck in Bern, though the exact number isn't certain. Compared to the billions of steel cents made in America, the 1943 B is far scarcer. They were used by soldiers overseas, and many never made it back home. That means surviving examples today are highly collectible. Values depend heavily on condition. A circulated 1943 B cent might sell for just a few dollars, but in uncirculated grades, prices climb quickly. An example in MS65 can sell for a few $100s. MS66 coins have sold for over $1,000. And the finest known pieces, graded MS-67, have crossed the auction block for more than $3,000. Like other 1943 cents, there are also rare transitional errors. A few 1943 cents were struck on leftover copper planchets. These are among the rarest of all Lincoln cents. Only a handful are known, and when they appear at auction, they sell for staggering amounts. One such piece sold for tens of thousands of dollars, making it one of the crown jewels of wartime coinage. Other errors exist as well. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks can all be found on 1943 cents. While most bring modest premiums, dramatic errors can sell for hundreds or even thousands depending on the severity. To really understand the importance of this coin, you have to think about the context. In 1943, America was fully engaged in World War II. Copper was desperately needed for ammunition and military equipment. The Mint's decision to switch to steel saved thousands of tons of copper for the war. But the 1943 adds another layer to the story. It shows just how far America's reach extended. Even overseas in neutral Switzerland, coins were being struck to support the war effort. That makes the 1943 not just a coin, but a piece of global history. Collectors today prize the 1943 because of its rarity and story. Most Lincoln cent collections can be built from Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco issues. But to complete the set, you need the 1943 That makes it a key date for advanced collectors, and its connection to World War II adds to its appeal. So how can you find one? The truth is you won't see a 1943 in pocket change. These coins were struck overseas and most stayed there. The best way is through auctions, coin shows, or specialized dealers. Authenticity is important because counterfeits exist. That's why certification from PCGS or NGC is critical if you're buying or selling a high-value example. If you do own one, how should you sell it? Common circulated pieces can be sold online or to dealers, but high-grade or rare error examples should go to major auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers, where they'll reach serious bidders. The big picture is clear. The 1943 cent is not just another wartime penny. It's a unique product of history. A coin struck overseas during one of the most dramatic years of the 20th century. In circulated steel, it's worth a few dollars. In gem mint state, it's worth thousands. And in copper, it's worth a fortune. So the next time you hear about the famous 1943 steel cents, remember that one version stands apart. The one with the tiny B under the date. The only Lincoln cent ever struck in Switzerland. A coin born in the shadow of war, and today, one of the most fascinating rarities in all of American coinage. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoy stories of rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to subscribe for more. Billions of Lincoln cents poured out of the United States Mint, filling pockets, jars, and cash registers all across the country. To most people, they looked like just another penny, the same coin they'd been using for years. But for collectors, the 2019 Lincoln cent tells a more interesting story, one of huge mintages, hidden errors, and a unique connection to its sister coin, the 2019 W from West Point. The 2019 cent belongs to the Shield Design Series, which began in 2010. On the front is Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history. On the back is Lyndall Bass's Union Shield, a modern design that replaced the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Each coin is struck in zinc with a thin copper coating, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19 millimeters in diameter. Now let's look at mintages. Philadelphia struck over 3.6 billion cents. Denver struck more than 5.6 billion. Add them together and you get more than 9 billion coins. That makes the 2019 Lincoln cent one of the most common coins in America. You'll find them everywhere, in change, in rolls, and in every penny jar in the country. But as always in numismatics, rarity comes from condition and from special varieties, and 2019 has some worth knowing about. In high grades, even ordinary 2019 cents are valuable. Because zinc cents scratch and spot easily, finding flawless examples is tough. A Philadelphia cent graded MS-67 red has sold for $50 to $100. At MS-68 red, prices climb into the hundreds. The finest Denver examples graded MS-68 have sold for over $200, and the very top Pops coins graded MS-69 red have crossed auction blocks for more than $1,000. Proof-like designations also exist. Some 2019 business strikes show mirror-like fields, and when certified as PL, they attract premiums. Collectors love these modern oddities because they look like proofs but came from regular circulation dies. Then there are errors. Because billions of these coins were struck, mistakes were inevitable. Some 2019 cents show die cracks, especially around the shield design on the reverse. Others have interior die breaks, sometimes called cuds, which can make dramatic raised blobs of metal on the coin. Off-center strikes are also known, ranging from slight shifts to dramatic misstrikes where half the design is missing. These can sell for anywhere from $20 to several hundred, depending on how severe the error is. One of the most interesting 2019 errors is the double die obverse. On certain Philadelphia cents, strong doubling appears on the date and the word liberty. These are not common, but when found in high grade, they've sold for several $100s. Collectors always check their 2019 cents for doubling because of these varieties. Another error worth mentioning is the 2019 D, misaligned dies. Some coins show a slightly rotated reverse compared to the obverse. While minor rotations don't add much value, dramatic ones, 45 degrees or more, can be highly collectible. Now let's add some context. In 2019, the Mint also struck the famous West Point cents, marked with a W. These were never released to circulation, but instead included as bonuses in collector sets. The ordinary 2019 Philadelphia and Denver cents circulated by the billions, but the presence of the West Point issues gave the entire year special attention. Collectors began looking more closely at all 2019 cents, and that's one reason errors and varieties from this year are well studied. So how do you find a valuable one? The good news is they're everywhere. You can still find 2019 cents in your pocket change. You can buy bank rolls and search through them. Estate sales, flea markets, and coin shows also have uncirculated rolls available. If you're serious about hunting, bring a magnifier and check for doubling, die cracks, and mistrikes. And if you want to weigh your coins, a scale can help confirm authenticity and catch odd plancher errors. Selling depends on what you've got. Circulated coins are spenders unless they have a major error. Uncirculated rolls can bring small premiums to collectors who want them. Certified high-grade examples should go through PCGS or NGC, where the difference between MS67, MS68, and MS69 can mean hundreds of dollars. Errors are always best sold certified, because collectors want the assurance they're genuine. The big picture is this. The 2019 Lincoln cent might look like a modern throwaway, but it's part of a larger story. In worn condition, it's worth a cent. In flawless condition, it can be worth hundreds or even 1,000. With a dramatic error, it can be worth much more. And as the sister year to the unique 2019 W, it will always stand out in the Shield Cent series. So the next time you get change and see a 2019 penny, don't dismiss it. Look for that mint mark, Philadelphia with no mark, or Denver with a D. Check it carefully for doubling, cracks, or rotation. And if it's a blazing red gem with no spots or scratches, consider sending it for grading. Because in coin collecting, even the most common coin in America can hide rare and valuable surprises. The 2019 Lincoln cent proves that sometimes history and rarity are still being made right in your pocket. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoy learning about coins,